غرباء 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 غرباء. Good hard research, I found real live stories of Arabs who saved Jews. I found a story, for example, his photo is on the back of the book, a man named Si Ali Sakat. Si Ali Sakat was the mayor of Tunis at one time. He then retired to a country home in the Zaghouan Valley, which is right where the battle line was in spring of 1943. And at one point in the heat of battle, 60 Jewish escapees from a slave labor camp, knocked on the farm door, knocked on his farm door, looking for refuge. Now you have to remember, at this time, the piece of territory that he lived on had gone back and forth during the war half a dozen times. He had no idea whether this time the Allies would win or the Germans would win. He let them in, all 60, and gave them refuge until the battle was over and the Allies had come through. He's a hero. Or there's a man named Khalid Abdul Wahab. Khalid Abdul Wahab was a notable in the town of Mahdia, in a coastal town in Tunisia. One night, he learned that a German officer was going to rape a beautiful, blonde, blue-eyed Jewish woman. Khalid got to the place where that woman and her family were hiding. They had already been kicked out of their home, which the Germans had taken for barracks. He got to the place where that woman and her family were hiding, knocked on that door, and said, "You have to come with me." And he took all of them, that family and several other families that had sought refuge in this place. It was an olive press factory. And throughout the night, he shuttled them in his own car back and forth to a family estate that he owned 30 kilometers outside the town. And he kept them there for 6 weeks until the Allies expelled the Germans from his town. Now that story was told to me by an amazing woman who was the daughter of the woman in question. She was 11 years old at the time. She grew up 60 years later. She had been trying to tell the story for 60 years and nobody would believe her. غرباء 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 ولغير الله لا نحني الجبال غرباء.
It's a story you've likely never heard, one told through the faces of these Albanian Muslims who risked their lives to live by a code of faith and honor called Besa.
We are going to protect anybody who asks for our help and come to that, and we're promising to take care of them and help.
The exhibit is opening eyes throughout the world.
You don't have to share the same faith, you have to respect each other's faith.
Pictures of Albanian Muslims tell a lifetime of stories. This man hid Jewish families, saying, "I did nothing special. All Jews are our brothers." The head of the Bektashti sect, with more than 7 million followers, tells the story of Albania's prime minister, who gave a secret order during the Nazi occupation. He said, "All Jewish children will sleep with your children. All will eat the same food. All will live as one family."
They were among the people who, at great personal risk, sheltered Jews and protected them in their homes, and did so out of a religious obligation.
In post-World War II Europe, it is said Albania is the only country to boast a greater number of Jews than before the Holocaust. The Islamic Foundation of Greater St. Louis and several local Jewish agencies hope the St. Louis community will experience this rare look at the role Albanian Muslims played in sheltering Jews from the Nazis.
At this time of tension over Islam in America, there is so much more to understanding Islam.
غرباء 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 ولغير الله لا نحني الجبال غرباء.